What's going on, guys? This is Matab here from the Same Soldier Project, and today we finally have a guest. Please, everyone, welcome GlamWNav.
Hey guys, this is GlamWNav, and thank you guys for having me on this podcast. I'm so excited.
Perfect. Let's get right into it.
Okay. Anyways, how was your day? What'd you do? How was the weekend?
I basically, well, first I came back from Vancouver, right? So like this entire week I've just been transitioning, like getting back my routine, like the gym. I did like a cooking series and stuff in BC.
I saw
that was a little thing, but yeah, like I've been like doing that and stuff. And then even today was like pretty chill. I have like my workshop thing coming up, so planning for that. That's about it. Now I'm here with you guys.
Yeah, cool. It was like supposed to happen a while ago, and then what happened? It was like
Christmas came around, right?
Christmas and then the New Year's thing, and then our dates were not aligning.
Yeah,
because we were gonna do like the end of January, but I'm like I'm leaving, and then yeah. But
it's okay. It happened.
It's okay. Yeah. And now we're in January. It's like, what's the goals for like 2026 with you?
I'm honestly just like completely rebranding, like for GlamWNav and CaptureWNav, like the content and makeup stuff. So there's that, and then a lot of personal development, like all the lessons that I learned last year. So yeah, just rebranding as a person and a brand completely.
Okay, but let's break that down, like split that in half.
Yes.
You are rebranding and then your personal development.
Yes.
So what are some of the lessons that you like took from 2025 as just you as a business owner? 2025
I feel like was like a year of like a lot of like learning, like even like people wise, like just like not trusting everybody in the business and stuff, right? Like there's a lot that comes down to it. So not trusting everybody and like actually holding your ground. That's one thing I always struggled with, was like just being too nice and like giving too much, right? And then
spreading yourself thin.
Yeah, exactly. So
if you want to grow your business and you feel like you should take on like every client.
100%.
I think that's definitely something that we're like learning too. It's like you can't spread yourself too thin, because then you don't give quality everywhere.
It lacks, and people notice it.
Exactly.
Whether it's like getting back to them on time, or like whatever it is. Even like sometimes your pricing.
Yeah.
At some point it has to be like, what's the value for the time that's going to be invested into this, right? And that's not like you're cheaping out or anything. It's just purely, where can I provide the most value?
Yeah.
Right. You have 24 hours in a day. You sleep 8, hopefully, and the rest is just you have to figure out where that time allocated.
You can't get every client. That's the thing.
No,
it's not possible.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and you gotta like pick and choose too. That's another thing. Like even with like clients and models and stuff too. Like that's what I'm gonna be doing this year. Like picking and choosing the right clientele. Being able to say no was like and that's where personal development comes in. I was never able to say no. Gradually over the years, I've actually noticed like I'm actually able to stand my ground. But definitely this year, I gotta be able to do that more.
Yeah. Okay, but back to we kind of deviated, but like back to like what you kind of answered it, but increase that quality of what you accept for your time, right?
So how long have you been in the business? That I think also leads to like your level of experience.
I've been in the industry for 6 years now.
Yeah.
So
that's what I wanted to touch on, because it's like not like you started like 2 years ago.
No.
And you're like, now let me rebrand my whole thing.
No.
And like all this, I've learned like so much in 1.5 years. And it's like, no, you really haven't. But like 6 years.
I feel like the first like 3 years was like the year of like making mistakes and like learning even a lot about customer service. Like growing up when I was like 16 when I started it, I was not patient. I didn't know how to deal with customers, speak to people, or like let's say like I made a mistake on the makeup and stuff and like the client got mad. I didn't know how to like take it, right? Like I wasn't able to take accountability. That's one thing. And then as years pass by, you end up learning that. You're learning a lot of customer service, how to like deal with like anxiety, pressure, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what like changes you as a person as well.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. And then with GlamWNav, what is the rebranding that we're going to see in 2026?
There's gonna be a lot more like events that I'm gonna be like hosting, and like even in terms of like my makeup cosmetic line, I started Nav Cosmetics I believe 5 years ago, and I just kind of haven't really touched it. Like I haven't really been putting a lot of time and attention into it. So this year there's a lot of new like products coming out that I'm gonna be launching, and a lot like to go around that.
So is that public? Not knowledge? Do people know?
They don't know as much yet, but like there is something coming up. I kind of did like leak a little bit on Bailey's story today, but it is kind of regarding.
So
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
With like the makeup stuff, the next step I feel, because yes, social media is like at an all-time like high right now.
Yeah.
But with makeup, I've learned that the next step is always to like, create a brand for yourself in terms of like whether that's a product that is GlamWNav or something completely arbitrary. What is that like something that most people are heading towards in the makeup / esthetician or whatever field, because they start like making their own product line, like like Kim Kardashian, like just whatever, biggest example. But where does that go for you? Is that something that you would do?
in terms of, like creating my own product line.
Yeah.
I feel like yes, because like again, like when I was like younger, I was always like working part-time jobs and stuff, and one thing I told myself was like I always want to have a business of my own. So with that perspective, it's like one idea came, then a second idea came. Like I never thought when I started I would do content creation like with the wedding industry, but it was always one after the other. And I've noticed in our generation too, like a lot of people just want to be entrepreneurs nowadays because we don't want to like depend on anybody. We kind of want like something of our own, and I feel like a lot of our generation is kind of leaning towards that.
Yeah. Plus, 6 years ago, the wedding industry was not what it is today.
Yeah.
Like the amount of involved that the third parties have now in the wedding industry, it was not the like
Just
not
like
The saturation of like the wedding industry has like completely like overtaken everything.
I can only imagine how hard it is to start one now.
It is
like
very
at
hard.
the peak of wedding industry, which
Yeah.
is maybe I don't know the best. Some
reputation.
could argue it's the best time to start.
Yeah.
But the people like big vendors like videographers and photographers, the two biggest in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even more than like food vendors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like food at banquet halls is always like fine.
Yeah.
Right? It's never like unreal. It's never terrible. It's just
Yeah.
fine. But the videographer and photographers make a huge difference. Or
Like,
even the
there's so many
creators.
options, but I feel like the thing is like it's not that like some people in the industry they will make it as competition, but that's only if you see it as that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like there's always going to be like food for everyone on the plate. Like there will always be like clients for everybody, and I feel like if you make it competition, I feel like there will be competition,
Yeah.
right? But as a brand, like you have to have your own personality.
Yeah.
You have to be your own person, and I feel like the services that you will be providing, you can only get that specific part from the person itself, right? Like me as a makeup artist, like there's a difference between me and like a different other makeup artist, right? Like we all kind of have our own art, we all have our own like visions, we all have our different personalities and what we bring. So I feel like even though there is a lot of saturation, I feel like being your own person is very important. It's like selling your lifestyle and who you are as a person along with your services.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree. I think what you said about like there's enough clientele to go around for everybody. Like look at the
100%.
amount of niches you
Yeah.
have in just the wedding industry. Then you head into even the types of photography that you can do. So for GlamWNav, like what would you say is it's a loaded question, but like what's your
like style or aesthetic.
Yeah,
Like,
what's your style?
What do you think brought you
what
from like
separates you?
just a hobby, you know what I mean, to like where you are right now?
I wouldn't say it's not really a hobby. It's more of like my personality, I feel like, definitely. And also like I like to keep my content very like raw and like very emotional. As a kid, basically when I was 16, I always showed all the bad and the good, right? And I feel like a lot of us on social media, we hide the bad and all the hardships because it's not very normalized to share that part, and like you're worried about like what other people are gonna say. So for me, I feel like that really took me, like it's made me stand out a lot compared to everybody else because I was sharing those. And even now, like whether it's the gym, whether it's about Sikhi, whether it's about any motivational, inspirational stuff, I will share everything. And I feel like that's what really like gets people to resonate with me and like makes them want to book me or like have my services or just follow me, like anything in general like that.
I found that like social media, and I think I'm trying to push this page in that way as well.
Yeah.
And other stuff we do, like with the business, we've already started doing it where instead of just promoting the product or the service or whatever it is, you create a lifestyle and then you sell and you kind of throw in that product.
Yeah.
And the one person that's really good at that, who has like a whole content team behind him, is this big realtor in New York City, Ryan Serhant. And he basically like just walks you through his day. Through that, he's not selling you his multi-million-dollar properties. He's kind of just like showcasing
Selling
the lifestyle.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Selling your lifestyle. I always tell this to like my students too, like when I'm teaching them even with makeup and hair, even if you aren't like living that lavish lifestyle right now, you have to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Right? So I even tell them like even if it's just like going on a road trip and posting your coffee or behind the scenes whatever, always show you're busy, and it's like the same thing as always showing your lifestyle, because that actually gets people to be like, oh, like she's doing this and this, like I also want to be able to do that. And then they look at, okay, what does she do for work? And then that makes them want to kind of learn from you, or like, you can be a mentor. Like there's so much things to it.
The reality is that regardless of when they did it, when they posted it, they did that, right?
Yeah.
So there's no like there's people who do the complete one end of like faking it, but at the end of the day, like if I'm posting about doing XYZ, I did those things, right? So
yeah, you just made it like you just glamified it.
displayed it better. So I know I already asked this question, but I want to get this snapped on. But so after 6 years of doing makeup, beauty, and everything that makes you Glam by Nav, can you explain to us
Glam with Nav. Say it again.
Glam by. No, now the pressure's on, but.
Glam by. I don't use glam with.
Glam by
Glam by.
I was like about to say it the first
Everybody
time.
always messes it up. And
Yeah.
I'm just like glam with.
There's so many GlamWNav. Okay, but so after 6 years of doing makeup, beauty and everything that makes you glam with Nav, what would you say is your specific niche and like personality of what you do that separates you from everyone else?
It would definitely be the motivational, inspirational part that comes with me, right? So it would be like the uplifting woman around me and stuff like that, because I don't see that a lot in our community, especially the brown community, men and women. We always see more people like seeking competition from others, or we always have this thing where like, yes, I want this person to do good, but just not better than me. And I feel like I'm the complete opposite. And even when I'm teaching, so I created my program where dreams become reality, and that's where I teach makeup and hair. But more than that, I actually teach like how to be a confident person, how to actually have a business, how to run and operate as a brand owner, how to build your confidence to go up and stuff, and like just how to be a good person in general as well. So I feel like a lot of my content comes with uplifting women and uplifting men, mental health, and then just in general, like just being a successful business owner, because I want, like, if I'm the type of person, like, if I'm going up, I want everybody around me to also go up. Right. So that is like my main primary goal. And when I did start like GlamWNav, like at 16 years old, I didn't start it to genuinely be a makeup artist, which a lot of people don't know. I started it because I just wanted to literally have a page or like a platform where I could just use my voice.
Yeah.
And that's what GlamWNav became, which is why I still talk about like other topics on there. It's never just about beauty. It's never about, oh yeah, I did this girl's makeup or I did this person's hair. It's always about so much other things, and I will always make sure that all my content will kind of like come together in that aspect.
Yeah.
I noticed that about yours even before like I knew you personally and stuff like that. But when I don't like, maybe it just kind of popped up on Instagram
like
one
TikTok
day.
Or Instagram.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, she's posting like her doing makeup on women and stuff.
I saw the Siki stuff a lot too.
Yeah, and then there's also like all this other lifestyle stuff thrown in, and it's nice to see because like there's a lot of makeup artists that I know or we know or whatever, or like I know a lot. Yeah, I do. I know everybody.
I don't know much about makeup.
Or even like just in general, content people, like content creators that they just and. You can't blame them, or they're just promoting their business nonstop, right? We've kind of done that too until we learned that like to incorporate other lifestyle elements.
100%.
But that's what I saw with yours, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool because like I'm seeing Sikhi, I'm seeing fitness, I'm seeing like your cooking stuff, which is funny.
I mean, you mentioned something, and that kind of like reminded me of my business, and then also why yours is it ties in with yours so much, is that the confidence. If you can sell someone a feeling, an experience, and confidence, then like that's kind of what makeup is all about, right? And you know, you can jump in and tell me what that does, because guys have always failed to understand what makeup does to a woman's like confidence and how they feel, but it is a feeling at the end of the day. They do it. You can even like, there's that saying like you do it for yourself. To some degree, that's true, right? Because when you look nice, you feel good, right? When you feel good, you perform better, and that's what we want to do. Right?
Yeah, it's like for guys, it's like. I mean, and women, it's like if you're physically fit or something, or if you dress well, you automatically kind of feel good. And there's like enough studies where they say like happens in corporate all the time, right? Or like the better you dress or the better you look, or the more you put yourself out there, you will just be more successful.
It's just generally, it's a science. At the end of the day,
nobody wants to hire like some slump kind of guy.
Oh, for sure,
right?
And then
or
like some men's makeup is like beards.
Literally is.
Well, men's makeup is a beard and whatever they can dress with. But like, so I guess I guess this enters a little bit more into the personality. But when you deal with clients, when you sit down with like you know, the people that you've over 6 years, like how have you learned makeup impacts a person's, you know, a day, or what kind of styles and moves have you seen throughout your experience?
Well, makeup in general, obviously, it's there to like enhance your beauty, right? It's there to like make you feel good. And I think that part that you said about like the feeling of it making you feel good and it makes people want to come back. It's like the same thing, like in customer service, for example, like you could be so good. And I've seen a lot of makeup artists that are so good, but there's so many stories that I've heard that, oh, she just wasn't good towards me. She was just like not a nice person, or she made me feel uncomfortable. And that is like the thing that a client will always take more than the service itself.
Right.
And that's like the return client. You want to make sure your clients are returning to you after that one service, and the thing that's going to do it is like how you actually made them feel.
Also, like people, we talked about this just recently on another episode where people have like skin issues or something like that, for example, right? And they feel self-conscious or whatever it is, right? Which is fair. I can understand that. And makeup, right? Or like skin treatments obviously can help like enhance that or get rid of that, actually. Sorry.
Right.
Can actually get rid of those scars or whatever it is, and make a person like feel much better about themselves, which at the end of the day is like the whole point.
whole
Even though,
yeah.
you make them look pretty, whatever, makeup and stuff like that.
insecurities, but yeah,
Yeah, totally.
makeup and beauty kind of comes in to like make you feel a lot more better.
Yeah.
It's not even to hide those insecurities, but it just kind of helps you feel better.
Yeah,
in
everyone's
some
got their
ways.
thing,
Yeah,
right? 100%.
everyone has
Yeah,
insecurities. Yeah.
So I know you wanted to kind of focus on like kind of like the brown community, the Indian community that we can all agree to can be like toxic and things like that and have its own issues, our listeners and things like that. And I know that's going to be like a pretty controversial or interesting topic to get into.
I feel like with the brown community, especially as a girl, I feel like it's a lot harder. Like men have their problems too, but I feel like in the brown community, I feel like the parents really target the girls into like not being on social media and like not posting yourself. So even with me, when I started at 16, there was a whole like, and a lot of people know about this already on social media because I've expressed that. But my parents were completely against it, and there was a lot of backlash. There was like my mom, my chachi, huni, masuni, all of them just kind of coming to my house and be like, "You're not gonna do social media. You're not being a makeup artist," because they always kind of took that with like posting nudity or like something along the lines of that, you know.
Social media even 6 years ago was quite different.
100%. It's also like nowadays it's like social media is like it's well known. Now if you tell me like, oh, like I run a social media business and I'm on there, now it's normal.
Yeah,
right?
Older generation understands it too.
Back then, like when it's like COVID time, when you were like on social media, it's like, oh, but you dropped out of school, like this is that. Like, what do you mean you're on social media? You have a full-time business. Like it made no sense.
Yeah.
And then me being 16 and also dropping out of school was like a really big thing.
Okay.
So there was a lot of backlash with that, but yeah, it's like I just didn't want to give up on it because once I started something, it was like there's no way I'm gonna quit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot towards that.
So what happened? Like, how did you get out of that? Like, I'm sure you rebelled and all that
Realistically,
good
I didn't
stuff.
really get out of it because it's still here today.
Fair
Like,
enough.
yeah, like it's still there. Like my dad and me, like we don't have the healthiest relationship now because of that, which is totally fine. Like he'll support me, but it's like a brown dad ego. It's like he won't ever tell me like, oh, you're doing a good job or oh, I'm proud of you. He'll like kind of start like showing up to my events every now and then. Like the one masterclass I did, it's so funny. In the morning, it was like 5 a.m. and I was like, oh, like daddy to Siana, and then he's like, no, like mani ona, like ja tu, like mani ona, this is that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm on the stage, I'm teaching makeup, and my students are all there, and then he like sneakily like comes through like the main door and just sits down, and then my model's like, yo, now she's like, your dad is there, like, and I'm like, what? And I turn around and I started crying.
Oh man.
Yeah, like that's what he'll do.
intense.
He'll never
like a
tell
dad.
me.
The typical dad.
Yeah.
Dad brown ego, I know.
I know the
But-
ego is so high, man.
It is. They
Even
never
to some
wanna see
extent
it.
on like brown dudes.
Yeah.
It can be high for
Yeah.
sure. We all know this.
Yeah.
Like all the Brampton mans, but brown dads.
Yeah.
For sure. Like
They definitely have that.
it's just like you know what I mean. And I'm not even calling
To
them
some
out.
degree,
Yeah.
It just is what it is, man.
I think to some degree it builds, character, and it builds like thicker skin.
It's their pride
100%.
that like
Yeah.
it's their pride that it becomes so high that they forget to and it kind of blinds them in a way that they forget to see like the important stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my daughter's like trying something new or chasing her potential dream at that point,
Yeah.
right? Now it's grown up and become its own thing.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's a
So
thing.
when
It'll
I
always
saw
be a
that,
thing.
like when I saw like my parents were against it, like the one thing I told myself, and I still will always follow, is like I will never do anything to ruin their reputation.
Right.
So any content that I post, any opportunity, like there has been opportunities that I've gotten, but I knew that it wasn't gonna make me happy, it wasn't gonna make them proud, and I said no to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's one thing that I always told myself, because even till this day, like they're not the most supportive. But like it's there. Like they don't restrict me, they don't like stop me. So it's like the freedom is kind of there, but it took me a lot to like get to that point. So even for like brown girls, like what makes me resonate to them the most is like I know a lot of brown girls that also go through this even now. It doesn't have to be by the makeup industry, it could just be anything in general. But that's one thing I always tell them is don't give up. As long as you're not doing anything wrong, you're not hurting yourself or hurting your actual loved ones around you.
Yeah.
Just keep chasing your dreams and like your goals, and eventually either they'll support you or either they're just gonna stop giving you a hard time. It's one or the other.
I think also, if you do have a vision and if you're passionate and obsessed with something, you have to understand that no one else should be able to see that dream.
Yeah.
Right. Me and Madhav talk about this all the time, and it's like you have to some degree lead by example. If Vaheguru, God, whatever, put that like that dream or work ethic or whatever it can be, that potential, let's say, within you, like it's your job to kind of manifest that. And it's like, how can you expect someone else to be there with you, support it if they can't see it? So I think that's something that like we saw is like, when we started the project, like there wasn't a lack of support, but it was just like, like as maybe a trend or like a facade, like they're going to go try it. Or I've tried so many crazy things with Obscene, but like once you actually do it, then it's like, what are you going to say? Right. Now that parents are so comfortable with social media because they know how much potential there is. Like I can sit here and reach 20, 30,000 people, right? Whereas they build relationships like person to person. So when you have that kind of potential, like they just kind of like, you have to lead by example to some degree. So I resonate with what you're saying on that. Like you have to some degree, you have to owe it to yourself to make that puzzle kind of fit.
Yeah, it works both ways. Like social media from a parent's perspective can be like incredibly scary.
Yeah.
Right? They probably hear all these crazy horror stories about like
never grew up with it, right?
Yeah.
It's us, yeah.
And they, first of all, they don't understand it completely.
Yeah.
I don't even understand it completely. And I'm like,
No, my mom too. She like sees my thing and then she's like 16K. She's like, then 60,000 Loki follow kar there. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And then she's like, got they? And then I was like, I don't know. And then
Yeah.
she's like, wait, what do you mean they're following? And it took me so like much time to explain. Like they just follow my page. Like they just don't get it
I have
sometimes.
a cousin, like a doctor, and probably the smartest guy we know in our lives. The greatest guy, super humble, very, very smart. And he has a podcast as well, Onk Brothers. Shout out Onk Brothers. And he's trying to learn from us how to do social media.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 40, 43, something.
41, yeah.
41. And I'm trying to teach him social media. I'm trying to teach him stories. What's a story? What's a post? A reel? TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. YouTube he understands, right? And I went through like hours and hours with this guy. And he's like, man, I've done an MD and incredibly successful, smart guy. He's like, yo, I do not understand social media.
Yeah.
God.
I was like, just hire someone, man.
Yeah.
You got enough money. I was like, just hire someone
Yeah.
and let them handle it for you. Just provide them the content and they'll do what they need
But
to do.
it's a foreign concept to a lot of people that now, because back in the day you wanted something that gives you money or a career, you had to do some type of, somebody had to acknowledge you were smart enough, and that's a degree or a certificate or whatever, some sort, right? Like go get a degree so that you are capable of doing something. Well, it's like I don't need anybody to tell me I'm capable of anything, because you can learn that amount of content and material with 4 like clicks of a button now
Literally,
online.
Yeah.
So when you have that capability, and it's like the world's changing now. You said that I can't remember exactly, but that people are deviating into more entrepreneurial kind of lifestyles, and that's because we are automating to some degree basic fundamental tasks now, right? So it allows us to be more creative and do those jobs that require human touch, right? Or delegation, right? So we have the will of the internet and the ability to delegate tasks now, so you can focus on the art, right? And that's a foreign concept to them. They're like, yo, you have to do all the steps. You work harder, that's better. No, it's like work smarter. Now it's an age of working more intelligently, more
It's work
effectively.
smarter, not harder, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Like AI, I'll be the first to say, I'm 30 and like I feel I'm pretty behind on learning AI. Like that, I think that's where my generation breaks.
Yeah.
No, but nobody is like, I even talked to like Johnny today, like, bro, like he's like, I'm still behind. And that guy's like a tech wizard.
Yeah.
Like I'm using
But
ChatGPT
that
or like
age is coming.
send me a Word doc, draft off this email or whatever.
There is going to be a separation now where we become either our parents, where they're like, oh, like that stuff is not real. Because when I see AI stuff, I get a little bit like, ugh, like I don't really like that, right?
Same.
It bothers something inside me.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, okay, but do I want to end up like that where I'm just backward thinking? Because whether I like it or not, it's
happening.
coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can like control how much you want to receive that, like whatever is like, you want to accept that input, but you have to learn it to some degree.
Yeah.
Right? Yo, I want to fucking know. First of all, I want to know. I've always wanted to know what's the
What
steps.
foundations are there?
I've always wanted to know what's the steps. Like I've
Of
never
what?
known like
Depends on
what goes
depends
first,
on
what goes
makeup
second,
you're
what
using.
goes third. No,
I know more
The
about makeup than I
makeup steps?
Yeah.
I know more about makeup than I
every-
probably should.
everything-
Makeup
no.
routine?
Yeah, I mean like that was just
I'll tell you the makeup routine.
Yeah, tu rehne de.
Foundation,
Tell to us.
primer.
Who's into the skin prep?
No, this is after skin prep.
Okay. Yeah,
That was
foundation.
covered.
Like
that was
what's the
covered in
step?
our last episode.
Foundation is the foundation. 'cause that's
Foundation and then
first.
what?
Foundation.
Yeah.
And primer.
Okay, continue talking about
Give me the
makeup.
first letter of the second step after foundation. Give me the first letter.
C.
Concealer.
Concealer.
Okay, yes. You
But
forgot
what are you
color corrector, but
concealing?
yeah, concealer, okay.
No, but this has to be like general, not like
Okay, fine,
super
yeah,
duper
okay.
crazy.
Foundation, concealer,
Concealer. Primer.
primer, skin prep. That's like before
Oh.
foundation.
What is primer?
It's like a grippy thing that like holds your makeup down.
So that must be at the end, yo.
No, that's at the beginning.
Right.
The last thing is setting spray.
Obviously. Setting
no.
spray, bro.
Yeah.
They had to do
Bro, you fucking you haven't even gone to the makeup part yet.
Then
Okay, then it's like yo, obviously blush is like
Blush.
somewhere like no, blush is like step 5. Okay.
Okay.
After concealer, it has to be
This is so funny.
what's the
What's
thing
the
that
next-
they put like here and then
contour.
Yeah,
Then
contour.
contour.
Contours on the cheekbones. But yeah, contour, then like the blush.
No, but what's
There
what's
were
the
That's
no-
nose
concealer.
here
He
that
said
changes?
that. That's concealer.
Okay.
Conceal the imperfection.
Conceal.
Then
like, no-
contouring.
Then blush.
Then blush.
Then blush. Then this thing,
What thing?
the cheek.
That's contour.
That's
He said that.
Contour.
Poor guy. He doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Jana. तू सिखाया
कुछ
करेगी
नहीं पता
makeup का?
Bro, I don't need to learn this. Man, I'm not gonna do makeup. I would lose a little bit on my cut right here, bro.
We're gonna get to the point where we have makeup artists making us look really extra pretty.
Like,
Don't worry,
Diljit-
I'm hired.
Like Diljit
I mean, yeah,
Dosanjh.
on the
I'm
ground
hired,
that.
I'm
You ever
Yeah,
seen- you ever seen Diljit Dosanjh? He has like makeup on, like full out.
they all have makeup on.
yeah, they all
That's
do
crazy.
though.
Any guy on TV, any single person has makeup
I
on.
never need makeup, bro. I wake up like this.
100%.
Log on straight.
Like, who do we know? I'm sure I know people that like dudes that have makeup on that do like.
No, a lot
No,
of people
man,
do.
no
Like
one's at
I've
that
done, like
level.
even for music videos and stuff. Like I've gotten like I
Oh, yeah,
do the, like
totally.
guys like makeup and stuff. Like little concealer.
Oh,
add
what
a
am I
little
saying?
powder.
For my I had makeup on
When?
for my photo shoot in London.
Yeah, there you go.
I had makeup. I had like very light, but they
Yeah.
put me on because
Yeah.
it was a gloomy day and my skin it was like cold and my skin was just like inflamed, red, whatever.
Breaking out and stuff.
And I had, yeah, they put makeup on me, and I was like,
What
do your
makes
thing.
like? But what separates like a good makeup artist?
The technique. I feel like the technique definitely because like makeup anyone can do and like I always say this too like hair it's like you're either good at it or you're bad at it. Makeup there's like techniques and then even like having a good like making sure your kit is always clean, like clean brushes, the hygiene part to it. Understanding and listening to what the client wants is really, really important because a lot of people can just come and like do makeup, right? And even when I'm like even when I'm working on clients, sometimes they tell me like, oh, like the artist was good, but she doesn't know how to work on my face. It's really important that when you're doing makeup, you know how to study the person's face, their feature.
how it reacts to things or whatever.
Exactly, right? Like the skin prep or like any skin issues, allergies, whatever the case may be. Always having like clean, good products, high-end products in your kit as well. That's what makes you like a luxurious makeup artist, right? So there's a lot to it. And then even like educating, I feel like a lot of people mix up being a good makeup artist and being an educator. You could be so good at doing makeup, but that doesn't mean you know how to educate people, right? To educate someone with makeup, you gotta know how to like talk step by step and like teach like how to hold a brush, how to do this, how to do that. And usually like a lot of good makeup artists I've noticed, not that I can think on top of my head, but sometimes they don't think like when like you're in your zone and you're like even when we're driving, we don't think we're driving, we just do it.
Yeah.
Same thing with makeup, you just know how to do good makeup. Breaking it down step by step to teach someone else is like very different.
Yeah.
It's also like a straight up artwork. Like the people who do like not the kind of pretty makeup, but like who make like Halloween costumes or
Exactly.
like it's wild.
Yeah.
My favorite videos are the ones in India where they have those brides.
Oh my god, man.
I think I'll find one of those. Put them
What?
up. Yeah, they're so
When they
jokes.
like put the white tip down and be like
Yeah, it'd be
foundation,
like this
everything.
woman, darker skin tone, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll like paint her face.
Like fully white, looks like a white
It's
clay
actually
on
crazy
your
what
face,
makeup
red
can do, though.
lipstick,
Paint your
glitter,
face.
lashes
No,
are
that's
like off.
it's like
But it's crazy
there's
what
no skill there.
makeup
Yeah.
can do. But
Not
like,
to, like,
okay,
put
from a
down on those
woman's
guys.
like the psychology, like I've never understood why natural, like the natural look isn't the most go-to popular. Like why do women want to go for like that hot, like crazy blush and like
Yo, they don't anymore
They
though.
don't actually, yeah.
They don't. 2017, 2018, I feel like when we were kind of starting off, then 100% it was like Indian desi bridal glam. Like it was just heavy, cakey stuff. Now I've noticed since like 2024 till now, it's been very like light. Like it's kind of like bridal Indian makeup is kind of transitioning to white bridal makeup, where like it's more softer, like the blush is there, but everything else is like more skin-like. People are asking for light, medium coverage foundations and
But it's
stuff.
still a lot of makeup.
It's still a lot of
Yeah,
makeup, but
that's
it's the
right.
technique again.
That's right,
like, of,
yeah.
like how to make it look like it's less.
the layering?
Yeah.
It's still long lasting, like waterproof, whatever, but it just doesn't look like there's a lot on there.
Right,
Like
yeah, yeah.
like less is more nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you're probably wondering why this episode is so short. This is all leading up into part 2, where we get into the really juicy, controversial topic. We're going to talk about handling loneliness on the way to the top and while we're at the top, the late nights, all that kind of stuff that nobody really talks about. We're going to talk about mental health, the whole brown toxicity culture that, we're all kind of aware of, and how it is when we're starting off in these kind of adventures that aren't really super common amongst the brown community even now. We're going to talk about personal life, work life, the success, personal success, the work success, all in part 2 with GlamWNav. This is my heart. Catch us on part 2.